What do we actually know about Mass Effect 4 or 5? You might think that it's probably not much, but we do have a surprising amount of information and a general idea of what the next game could be about. How's it going, by the way? Mr. Holton here. And today we're going to be breaking down everything that we know about the next Mass Effect. Ranging from the teaser to the new poster we got recently to rumors and news that we've seen so far. Oh, and remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to support me in my content creating endeavor, you could also become a member. And thank you to all the few members that I've got so far. I'm really grateful for your support. Now let's get into the video. So it's not a secret that just almost a year ago, Christmas came early for every Mass Effect fan out there, as bioware officially released the first teaser to the next chapter to the franchise. A few of you might remember that my very first real video on this channel was a reaction video to the teaser trailer. So if you want to take a trip down memory lane, go check it out. It's pretty amazing how far this channel has come ever since then. Anyway, this teaser caused quite the stir, as there was a lot of callbacks to the old games, and people, especially me, started looking everywhere for clues. Now, a lot of people have mentioned that the teaser doesn't really mean anything, and that bioware just released it to get our engines going, so to speak, to get us excited again. But when asked whether there was any form of meaning to anything we saw in the teaser, Michael Gamble, who is the lead producer to the game, was quick to respond that many things were intentional, like when the camera pans over from what looks like the Andromeda Galaxy to the Milky Way. And when questioned whether Liara is walking over what looks like a dead Reaper, Mike responded to this with, "I'll give you this one for free. Yes." He also said in a tweet that this trailer has a lot to unpack, and listen closely. So the teaser is definitely hiding stuff that points us in the direction of where the franchise might be going next. At first, we hear through radio transmissions how Apollo 11 was cleared to land on the moon.
Copy. Eagle Houston, you're a go for landing, over.
To the first contact with the Turians and the inclusion of humanity into galactic society.
Humanity now stands as partners in
Ending with the launch of Arc 6 and the war with the Reapers.
the way. Godspeed.
Interestingly, it's never stated anywhere in Mass Effect which arc this is, and there was only 5 official arcs that were sent to Andromeda. Maybe this 6th arc is being sent back to the Milky Way to establish a trade route. Speculation aside, there are several other hints to what might be the main plot of the story, as we see Liara climbing a dead Reaper until she walks up to a broken off piece of an N7 helmet, only to look towards the horizon as she smirks. In the distance, we see the so-called Mud Skipper vehicle that's also been shown in concept art. And to the left, we see the outlines of 3 individuals, one clearly being a Krogan, one Solarian, and one very Rider-looking individual. Now, not to dive too much into speculation, but this character in the middle doesn't have to be Rider, of course. It could be a new protagonist or just a new squad mate for all we know. But what's very interesting with this first look at what seems like a full squad is that there are 4 individuals, including Liara, in this one frame. Could this mean that the limit on active squad members goes from 2 to 3? In case you didn't know, concept art for the next game was released together with the trailer, and in this piece of art we can see a total of 5 individuals next to the Mudskipper vehicle. Could this mean that bioware maybe was toying with the idea of having even 4 squad mates at one point? It's very interesting to say the least. And speaking of concept art, we had 2 additional pieces. One where we see what looks like the surface of a planet that's getting harvested. The buildings look suspiciously like the remnant technology we saw in Mass Effect Andromeda, so there might still be an important plot point to the next game. And then we have the most famous piece of these 3, which presents us with what looks like a mass relay that's under construction. Oddly, the coloration is very different than what we'd traditionally see from a mass relay. I even made a video on this, where I discussed the theory that maybe Cerberus are the ones working behind the scenes, since the color scheme that's present on the relay is also what Cerberus uses. Then just recently we got this new poster that gives us even more hints of where the story might be going. Here we see a crater that has a blue, almost element 0 looking impact point. When we zoom out, we can see that the crater is in the outline of a geth, and in the middle of the crater there are bodies of both geth and Quarians lying around, as well as a half-buried geth below. So far, this entire poster gives off a strong hint that the Quarians and the geth are gonna be major players in the next game. But that wasn't all we got from the poster, because as we move our eyes to the bottom of the poster, we get another shot of 4 individuals in a squad. And they all suspiciously look like the ones from the trailer. Of course, we also get a new look at the possible successor to the Normandy. Or maybe it's just a dropship or an exploration vessel. Okay, so now we've broken down everything that we've actually seen of the next game, but there's more. I mentioned in my previous video how Hollywood's biggest nerd, Henry Cavill, had teased his fans with a script of Mass Effect 3's story. And I actually think it's more likely that he's involved in Mass Effect 4/5 rather than the possible future TV series. This is because the script he's holding specifically mentions Geth, Quarians, and Cerberus, 3 factions that's been hinted at from what we've been shown. Then in that case, what could his role be? Well, I'd wager that it's someone important, maybe even the male version of our new protagonist, if there is one. And just a few months ago, EA posted a job listing for a technical director to the next Mass Effect, one who had a history of using the Unreal Engine. VentureBeat writer Jeff Grubb then confirmed with his sources that EA and bioware are indeed looking at using the Unreal 5 since the in-house Frostbite engine hasn't exactly worked in bioware's favor so far. This could be great news because the Unreal Engine has always been known as an incredible tool for developers, and since Unreal 5 appears much easier to use than previous iterations, we could assume that bioware is tempted at using this instead of the Frostbite engine. And to finish this video off, let's bounce back to when the teaser was released last year. Because back in December 2020, Michael Gamble gave us some assurances for the future, since BioWare should know by now that a lot of fans are worried about the future of the franchise. And what do I mean about assurances? Well, he started tweeting about some of the people that will be responsible for the next chapter of Mass Effect. Dusty Everman was one of the key people responsible for bringing the original Normandy to life. Dusty decided to rejoin BioWare to work on the next Mass Effect game. There are more like him. We've heard what Mass Effect means to you. Parrish Lay was the cinematic director for the Mass Effect trilogy. Many of the amazing moments you had were crafted from him and the team. Parrish decided to rejoin BioWare to bring his vision of a new Mass Effect to life. Brennan Holmes is a veteran of 3 Mass Effect games. His ingenuity and work helps to bring amazing gameplay systems to the Mass Effect universe. Brennan is one of the many who want to bring you the game you deserve. As time goes on, you'll get to know more of us. Oh, and let's not forget Derek Watts, original art director for Mass Effect. He's back too, ready to rock. Now these tweets should calm some fans down. The reveal that several of the key players for the original Mass Effect are back in action is a really positive sign, which could also mean that both BioWare and EA understand how very important the next Mass Effect will be for the future of both companies. And I, for one, am excited, as most of you know. But that's all we know so far. If I've missed anything, make sure to tell me in the comment section below. And as always, have a great day, guys. Mr. Holton, signing out.